I'm Justin Farmer at the old Governor's Mansion in Milledgeville. This is a state treasure and a national landmark, and the holidays are a great time to visit.
This was the official residence of 8 Georgia governors from 1839 till 1868. The original keys still unlock the front door.
Let me welcome you to the old Governor's Mansion.
Thank you.
Curator Matt Davis gave us a personal tour and history lesson. It took 3 years to build this mansion, and workers finished it in 1839.
It is considered by architectural historians to be one of the finest examples of High Greek Revival style architecture in the United States today, as it's just a pure temple form on the exterior.
The old Governor's Mansion is large, just shy of 22,000 square feet. From the outside, you don't see one of the biggest surprises inside.
Wow, look at this, the rotunda.
Indeed, the dome that you see above you here is located 50 foot off the floor you're now standing on. It's quite honestly one of the most significant architectural feature we have in the house. It is completely original to the building, and that is all hand-molded plaster that is gilded in 23 karat gold. Now, it's unusual about this.
That's real gold.
That is real gold, indeed.
Wow.
Now, what's unusual about this dome is it is located below the roof line. You cannot see this dome from the outside of the house, as this was meant to be the grand architectural surprise of the mansion.
A 22.5-foot tree stands in the rotunda during the holiday season. The tree is inspired by a Christmas carol by Charles Dickens. All the decorations in the home have been carefully researched and are true to the period.
The Christmas season was just as important for people in the 19th century as it is for us today. Families came together and decorations were done.
While some visitors come to see the holiday traditions, most want to learn about the mansion's rich Civil War history.
The night Georgia seceded from the Union for the Governor's Mansion part, we know that Governor Brown gave a speech on the front steps of this building. And what was interesting, it was for a torchlight procession of militia and other parade groups that went by, but it was in a driving thunderstorm, which was very unusual for Georgia in January, which perhaps foreshadowed the very tumultuous years that we're about to get ourselves into in the state.
In the private office, you see where Georgia's governor worked as the Civil War edged closer to the Capitol.
The desk that we have here is the original desk of Governor Joseph Brown.
The desk.
The desk. Okay. Commissioned in 1857 for his use by the state, the Civil War would be prosecuted from this desk.
After Union troops burned Atlanta, they moved on to Milledgeville, Georgia's 4th capital city. General William T. Sherman captured the governor's mansion November 23, 1864. But he was in for a surprise.
Prior to his arrival, Governor Brown had actually issued a proclamation to strip the house of everything, from the furniture to the draperies.
Because he knew it was coming.
He knew it was coming into this. Sherman met with his corps commanders in this room and finalized the plan for the capture of Savannah from the space. So in essence, you're standing where the first half of the March to the Sea ends and the second half begins from.
General Sherman stayed just one night and left the empty mansion standing. The dining room where he slept has been fully restored. The original items here include this couch and something that belonged to a governor whose name you'll recognize.
The set that you see here behind us here, the candlesticks and the decanter set, belonged to Governor Howell Cobb. And this is kind of a little bit of a demon's moment, as Governor Cobb would be what we would call today a functioning alcoholic, quite honestly, as it was said of him that he was never away from the hard drink.
20% of the mansion's furniture and housewares are original. And so are 85% of the structure materials like doors and molding. After Georgia legislators moved the state capital from Milledgeville to Atlanta, the mansion went through 20 years of transition.
1889, this became the founding building of what was then called Georgia Normal and Industrial College, which is now Georgia College.
The college used the mansion for everything from dorm space to classrooms. College presidents lived in this home until 1987, when the home became a museum. The extensive restoration started in the 90s with years of research, planning, and construction.
Here you stand 20-some years later.
Right.
Are you pleased?
Yes, I'm very pleased, and I think it's portrayed accurately. It is a museum house, truly a museum house, and I think putting authentic things back in made such a difference.
First-time or repeat visitors to the mansion are always impressed.
You never can see everything at the first time. So you come back and see a difference. In different seasons, they have different decorations here, and they're very beautiful.
The old governor's mansion's on the National Register of Historic Places, each room filled with memories and treasures that are part of Georgia history.
It is so important, I think, that we do restore some of our country's heritage, and we keep these alive for people to visit. And they've done a beautiful, beautiful job.
Curator Matt Davis says the mansion was a way for Georgia to showcase its growing wealth and importance in the 19th century. And today, this mansion is still a symbol.
If there's one thing they remember 9 months down the road about Milledgeville and the Governor's Mansion, what is the thing that puts this on the map?
Quite honestly, for the state of Georgia, the Governor's Mansion is probably the most tangible symbol of the history of this time period, and truly a reflection of how the state not only went through the high years of the antebellum period, but also transitioned into the recovery period after the Civil War. I think in terms of one singular fact about this house, the architectural significance and the history that happened here, stand where history took place.
Christmas is a special time here at the Old Governor's Mansion, but this beautiful home is open all year long. For more information about mansion tours or any of our Georgia's hidden treasures, be sure to visit WSBTV.com.